What's up, underdogs? Look, show me the money. Show me the money in my Tom Cruise voice. Hey, yo, look, we're going to talk about something that has been bothering me for a minute. The question is, why is in 2025, why are girls still fighting for crumbs when it comes to sports funding? Why? Like, we all see it. The boys get everything. They get fresh gear, they get coach buses, they get film crews, they get everything. Meanwhile, the girl programs, what do they get? They go out and they do car washes and get hoodies. And it's not all girl programs because I know some good girl programs that really hook their girls up. Like we hook our girls up. But what about those programs that are running boys and girls? Where's your money going at, parents? Ask that question. Where's my money going at? So today, I'm going to break this all down for you. And we're going to talk about why is this happening and what does it mean for our female athletes and how we're going to flip this thing so our girls can get a fair shot, fair funding, fair everything. So stay tuned. Don't go nowhere because we're going to dig deep. So let's get it. So boom, look. Ha. Let's break this down, people. Listen, people always hit me up with the same excuse when we talk about girls and boys in sports. People always saying like, well, the boys bringing more money. Okay, but why? Why do the boys bring more money? So you mean to tell me these girls out here who is working just as hard, who is putting in the same hours as the boys, sacrificing the same way, are not worth it? Come on now. We know that ain't true. But here's the real issue. Schools, sponsors, and organizations ain't investing. That's the problem. They just ain't investing the same way. They treat girls' sports like it's an afterthought, and then they have the nerve to wonder why attendance is low. Come on, let's be real. Let's be simple and let's be real. It's all about market. That's what it's about. If you don't market, how is people going to show up? If you don't market. But wait, let me hit you with this. Listen, let me hit you with this. Let me hit you up with some numbers real quick because this is not just about just me talking. This is not about just me talking. The stats are crazy. Wait till you hear this. Just stay tuned and just wait till you hear this. I'm about to pull it up for you. All right, check this out. So there's a study out that shows that girls receive 30% less funding than boys. 30%. Think about that for a minute. And that's not just in high school. It happens in college. We know what happens in the WNBA. Look at the salary disparity. More scholarships go to boys. The travel budget in college is probably higher, and the boys get better facilities. It's like they're trying to make it hard as possible for these girls to succeed. And you may say, well, that ain't happening more often. It's getting better. It is getting better. I can't say it's not getting better. It is. But why is it taking so long? Why? Why is it taking so long? And don't get me started on the media coverage. They just started playing girls' basketball games more often. But again, why did it take so long? And I know what you're going to say. Coach, it's because they're hard to market. Really? Is it that they're hard to market or you just ain't believe in them? Which one? You have killers. Like you have players that are elite in the WNBA. Some of them play better than the guys. For real. It's like they got to fight harder just to be great and get the same recognition as the boy did. So it just seemed like the female players in all sports have to fight harder. than the guys to get funding, which ain't right. It's not right. So we got to change that because it all boils down to one thing that these companies and these programs do. It's lazy marketing. That's all it is. But here's the real kicker. The funding gap ain't just unfair. It's pushing some girls out of sports. So we have to do something about that. See, this isn't just about uniforms and travel budget. It's not. Don't get me wrong. Again, some organizations really do good for their girls. This is about keeping girls in the game. Let's be real. If you take away the resources, you make it harder for girls to succeed. You make it harder for them to compete. And then guess what happens? They quit. And not because they don't love the sport, but because the system ain't built to support them. And that has to change. And yeah, I seen it firsthand. I coached at schools where I coached a girls basketball team, and they was an afterthought. I asked for uniforms. Oh, yeah. But the boys getting the uniforms. I asked for this, I asked for that. No, we get it. Kind of found out the boys got it. I'm not going to put the schools on blast, but it's not the one I'm at right now. Just to let you know, it's not that. But I have coached talented girls that had D1 potential. Crazy work ethic, real passion for the game. But they had to quit basketball because of the simple fact that their families could not afford it. They could not afford to pay out of pocket for these tournaments, which is crazy. These showcases. Meanwhile, the boys don't got to worry about paying. For my team, every girl has to pay, and they do, luckily, now. But also we raise money to help those that comes up short. We raise money. But everybody don't do that. Everybody don't do what we do. But that's okay, because we're going to fix this. We're going to fix it. I don't want this just to be a venting thing, right? I don't want to just vent. I want to talk solutions. So if you got some solutions, put them in the comments, and let's keep talking about it. What can we actually do? What can we actually do about this? What can we actually do? Here's what I think needs to happen if we really want to see change. First off, parents, coaches, and players, listen. Y'all got to start asking the hard questions, especially parents when you're taking your kids to these organizations to play sports and these schools. Actually, head of the programs, what do you do with the money that I'm paying for my child to play? Where does the money go at? Especially for AAU. Ask these directors where that money going. Some of them are going to lie and say, yeah, we use all of it for the girls. Of course they're going to say that. But sooner or later, you're going to be able to tell where the money is going at. You need to call them out on that. For real. You need to show enough call them out on that. And make sure that your money that you're paying for your daughter is going towards that girl's team. The second thing we need to do is we need to show more support. These girl games need to be packed. Not just the championship games. Not like, look, I understand. Nowadays, there's some bad basketball being played on both sides, girls and boys sides, but we still got to support. Support them. That means pulling up to girl games, sharing their highlights, making noise in the stands, making noise on social media, especially making noise on social media about this. And I promise you, people are going to start seeing the demand, just like the WNBA. It's starting to be in demand. And when the demand comes, the money follows. And lastly, we have to advocate. If you're in a position of influence, right, a coach, a school board member, whatever, sponsor, do better. Be better at advocating for your players and your girls. Do better. Don't just talk about it. Support them. Support them to the utmost. Actually, Allocate some resources. How about that? And treat these athletes the same way you would treat the boys. Perfect example. In a couple of weeks, you're going to see a podcast that I did, and I brought a guest of mine named Coach Al. And me and him were just talking about this on how he has one of the biggest tournaments in Maryland and probably in the country with private versus public girls basketball. There's no sponsors. None. And when I tell you, the gym be packed, games be good, but there's no sponsors. But I guarantee you, if it was a boys team, there'd be a lot of sponsors out there. Nike be lined up, Under Armour be lined up, Pepsi, everybody be lined up for it. And he does a great job at marketing, but he was like, man, there's no sponsor. We don't have a sponsor. Why? And this been going on. He's been doing this for years. Think about that. Why we don't have a sponsor for that event? When I tell you it's good games, it's good games. So come and check that out next year. It'll be at McDonough every year. Side note. So, real quick. Somebody may be saying, Coach, well, how do we get girls more exposure? And that's a solid question. Because exposure brings funding, and funding brings opportunities. The short answer is media coverage. The long answer is, if they're not going to do it, we got to do it. We got to create that coverage ourselves. If ESPN ain't going to show up at the Coach Al's private versus public games, then we need to blast that out. We need to record and we need to send that stuff out. We need to cover it. If the schools ain't promoting it, their games, we need to promote it. Coaches need to promote it. Fans need to promote it. Parents need to promote it. We need to promote it. So tag a journalist that you may know and share your highlights. Share the girl highlights, especially at a great game. Like, push for equal recognition. The more we flood social media, the more we flood these spaces, the harder it is for them to ignore these girls. Sports isn't just about competition. It's about opportunity. And right now, too many girls are being pushed away before they get the chance to shine. That's why this conversation matters. That's why we got to stay loud about this. So, here's what I need you to do. If you felt this episode some type of way, and you've seen this stuff happen, and if you know that this needs to change, I need you to drop a comment, share your thoughts with somebody. Keep this conversation going. The system don't change unless we make it change. Thank you for joining me for this. I'm Coach Q, and I'm out.